So everybody, welcome to the last video of my YouTube channel of 2022. It's been an absolutely awesome year. But anyways, today, I am here to rank the top 20 most creative PSAs. How interesting. I think this is quite interesting because some of these PSAs that are on this list aren't actually good PSAs, but they can be quite creative with their set design and things like that. So that's why I wanted to make this list. However, this was a video I scripted about a year ago. Completely forgot that I scripted it. So I've decided to make this video and kind of edit the script a bit and update things around. Also, yes, since this whole top 20 is about creativity, doesn't mean these PSAs are good. So let's not waste any more time. Let's just get straight into the list.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Goeiedag.
Hallo?
Ik zou graag een test met je willen doen. Stel, het is nacht en je ligt te slapen. Beneden is er brand uitgebroken omdat je een stand-by knopje aan hebt laten staan. En de rook gaat meteen naar boven, maar daar merk je helemaal niets van.
Wat moet ik nu doen?
Niets. Je bent wel gestikt. En je kind ook.
I find this one really creative because of the idea. It's not anything to do with the set design or anything like that. I think the idea is really creative and really well done. Like, it's such a good idea and it's executed so well that it's really effective as a PSA. As I said, obviously this one isn't really creative as it looks visually, but it's just the idea and the execution of that idea I find to be really creative.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Look at me, busy as a bee. Where'd I get all this energy? Oh man, man. I don't sleep and I don't eat, but I got the cleanest house on the street. Oh man, man. Get these hairs all out of my face. Get these bugs all out of my face. One more hit, no time to waste. Oh man, man.
So, I showed both versions of this PSA, but I do think the first version is more creative. Mainly because the jingle's really catchy and all the colors are a lot more vibrant, they're a lot more colorful compared to the second one where it's really worn out and gritty and stuff, which I guess it does support the message of the second one where it is meant to look disgusting, whilst the song's a bit more darker in tone. But that's the thing, both of these PSAs, you can tell that they did put a lot of work into them, and I think they look really good. The alternate version gets across like how bad meth can be, but with the first version, I really think the song is just so damn catchy. Literally, I think it's one of the most catchy songs in PSAs in general.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
It's the freshest of feeling, the coolest high. So pick up some heroin and shoot for the sky. Everybody's doing it, doing it. Everybody's doing it. Glamorous parties, a night on the town with beautiful people. It's always around. Everybody's doing it, doing it. Heroin for the rest of your life.
Same thing kind of goes for this one, like what I said with the last entry, but I think this has the best of both worlds. I think it is really interesting visually, whilst also having a catchy song that's disturbing. But apparently it's directed by Ridley Scott. There's no proof about this, but it's said that it apparently is directed by Ridley Scott. I still haven't gotten confirmation. I've tried to, but I've got no responses. And yes, I do prefer this PSA over the Cleaning Girl PSA I talked about before, because I feel like this one just does it better in both aspects, where it's disturbing but has a catchy song.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Why do you think your mommy or daddy are always telling you, don't put that in your mouth? Let's find out.
Hi, kids.
Why are we on television anyway?
We're here to tell a little story about why you shouldn't put things into your mouth when you don't know what they are, and why you should never take anything a stranger tries to give you.
Why not?
Because if you ate somebody else's medicine, some bad food, or some poison, you could get very sick.
Ugh, I don't want to be sick.
And that's why before you eat anything, you should always ask someone you love if it's okay.
Okay, I love you. Can I eat the guitar?
No,
Oh.
but you can help me sing a song about eating things that don't belong inside you.
Okay, I wasn't really hungry anyway. Well, wait, maybe a little bit.
Okay, everybody, if you see something that you want to eat, before you do anything, remember this song.
Don't you put it in your mouth. Don't you put it in your mouth.
Don't you stuff it in your face.
Don't stuff it in your face.
Though it might look good to eat.
Though it might look good to eat.
And it might look good to taste.
And it might look good to taste.
You could get sick. Ick. Real quick. Ick. Real sick. Real ick.
Don't you put it in your mouth. Till you ask someone you love.
That's right, sis.
If it's okay to eat.
If it's okay to eat.
Like a muffin or a beet.
Like a muffin or a beet.
If you don't know just what it is,
Remember, boys and girls.
don't put it in your mouth.
Hey, what am I doing? I don't even like beets.
And don't put it in your mouth. Bye-bye, everyone.
Remember, boys and girls, never take anything from a stranger, and don't put things in your mouth when you don't know what they are. If you eat somebody else's medicine, or some bad food, or some poison, you could get very sick.
Yeah.
Always ask someone you love before you put anything in your mouth.
Yeah, a PSA that's quite strange is also quite creative. It's mainly because it has puppets in the PSA. It is creative because of the puppets, and it is quite an interesting way to get across the message that this PSA is pushing. But yeah, a lot of immature people will take this PSA out of context, which, who blames them?
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
I wish I could have my heart attack again. I felt an ache in my jaw here. Ignored it. Felt a bit short of breath here. Ignored that. When I was down here, feeling tight in my chest, I didn't realize my heart muscle had already started to die. When all I had to do right at the start was call 000. I wish I could have my heart attack again.
Learn the warning signs at...
I love the idea of this PSA where a person that's had a heart attack relives those events and kind of sees where he went wrong in those events. It's such a brilliant idea, and I love how this PSA executes it. It's really cool, it's disturbing, but it's really well done. I don't think I have much else to say about this PSA because it kind of speaks for itself and it's just really creative.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
The first natural-born smoker will have a larger nose to filter out impurities. Self-cleaning lungs, a highly developed index and middle finger, smaller ears because they don't listen, extra eyelids to protect the eye from irritating smoke, and of course, an inbuilt resistance to heart disease, lung cancer, and thrombosis. Unfortunately, the first natural-born smoker hasn't yet been born. The natural-born smoker will be a responsible parent. To encourage early learning, the the child will be exposed to tobacco smoke from birth. Then, when it's older, sent to school to be taught the correct way to inhale cigarette smoke by a group of people called friends. Any child who feels dizzy, sick, or afraid of cancer will be ridiculed until they conform and become a regular smoker.
I'm obviously not the biggest fan of this PSA. I don't hate it, but it's not that good in my opinion. Even though I think it's kind of an average PSA, you can't deny that the set design and how the natural born smoker looks is really well done. Like the production value literally matches up with like Blade Runner. It's ridiculous, and obviously even the wiki says that it's Blade Runner inspired because yeah, look at the set. It looks like a Blade Runner room. It's pretty interesting to come up with a concept like this too, and I think they show that really well. They execute their idea pretty well, even though I don't think the PSA is that great. It does look really cool, the design of the natural born smoker.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
You don't know we die from tobacco. Sometimes you just lose alone. Oh, you don't always die from tobacco. Sometimes they just snip out your tongue. And you won't sing worth a heck with a big hole in your neck. Cause you don't always die from tobacco.
People actually look like. Keep following them up, guys.
These were quite creative because Truth decided to actually do something that no other PSAs were doing at the time. Like making PSAs around public protests about tobacco companies. That's pretty cool stuff. Just the whole idea of doing public stunts for public service announcements was really ahead of its time. But Truth stopped doing that and now they suck. Look, I do like the singing cowboy PSA more, but both of these have really cool and smart ideas and I think they execute them well.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
A train's engine is over 1,000 horsepower. Think about that before you cross the tracks. Stop for trains and trams.
The imagery is great. Like the whole idea of 1,000 horses pulling someone apart to show off 1,000 horsepower, it's really cool. Like it kind of gives you a visual of how powerful trains are, and if you were to get hit by one, then, well, you're dead. A very cool PSA with a solid message telling you to be safe around trains, and what else is there to say?
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Set fire to your hair, poke a stick at a grizzly bear. Eat medicine that's out of date. Use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Get your toast out with a fork. Do your own electrical work. Teach yourself how to fly. refrigerated pie. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Invite a psycho killer inside. Scratch a drug dealer's brand new ride. Take your helmet off in outer space. Use a clothes dryer as a hiding place. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Keep a rattlesnake as a pet. Sell both your kidneys on the internet. Eat a tube of super glue. I wonder, what's this red button do? Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dress up like a moose during hunting season. Disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason. Stand on the edge of a train station platform. Drive around the boom gates at a level crossing. Run across the tracks between the platforms. They may not rhyme, but they're quite possibly the dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. The dumbest ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Be safe around trains. A message from Metro.
Being 1000% honest, it's definitely the animation that makes this one creative. Obviously the song's really catchy, but it's the animation. It's all very cartoony and friendly to kids, but the subject matter is not friendly to kids. And you're seeing these cartoon characters die in different ways. But hey, I guess the creativity paid off because I still see print ads of this PSAs at train stations. Also, it might actually be a factor of why this PSA blew up so much.
What's your favorite idea? Mine is being creative.
Hello, kids! What a beautiful day! Perhaps today...
Hello, Biggie Bear!
What do you want, Mr. Rabbit?
I just popped around to say hello on this beautiful day.
I told you not to come here anymore! This is my show!
Hello, kids! How are you all doing?
Shut up!
What's the matter, Biggie?
Shut up! Huh? Do you like that?
I'm sorry!
Sorry. Well, that's not good enough. Do you see what happens when you come to my garden, Bunny? Huh? Do you see what happens? Hello, kids! What a beautiful day. Look, the sun is out. Oh, yes, Mr. Spotty. Hi, Mr. Spotty.
Hello.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I'm just sad.
But it's such a beautiful day.
Huh.
Well, I've got just the thing to cheer you up.
What is it?
It's something that'll make you happy again. Look at the bubbles.
Are you sure this is okay?
It's fine. Everybody does it. See, kids, it's easy to be happy again. Bye.
Yeah, I can't deny that these batshit insane PSAs are creative. In concept. Like the whole concept of imitating children's TV shows to get across your message is really good. That's the thing though with these PSAs, they do really imitate a kid's show really well. You do feel like this could be a real children's show that's aired on TV. Obviously at the end of the PSAs, he's sitting there wondering what the fuck just happened.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Welcome to our orchard where we get our flavouring worth savouring.
Puffa, puffa, zippity-zah. If you try these goodies, you surely might die.
Right this way, there's someone I'd like you to meet.
Hi there, kids!
Hey, this isn't a candy factory.
I've no regrets that in this factory we make cigarettes.
Tobacco companies sell products with candy flavors, but don't get tricked into trying them. A message from Rat. Reject all tobacco.
You better tell somebody.
I wasn't sold till the rat.
It's the Robot Chicken style animation that makes me think that this PSA is quite creative, and the fact that they're like parodying Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is pretty smart too. But the Willy Wonka copycat in this PSA, it looks like a coked up Willy Wonka, and it's just like, what drugs have you been on? What have you been smoking? Besides that, there isn't really much else to say.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Clearly, somebody in this room murdered Lord Smythe, who, at precisely 3:34 this afternoon, was brutally bludgeoned to death with a blunt instrument. I want each of you to tell me your whereabouts at precisely the time that this dastardly deed took place.
I was polishing the brass in the master bedroom.
I was buttering his lordship's scones below stairs, sir.
Why, I was planting my petunias in the potting shed.
Constable, arrest Lady Smythe.
But how did you know?
Madam, as any horticulturist will tell you, one does not plant petunias until May is out. Take her away.
That's right, madam.
It's just a matter of observation. The real question is, how observant were you?
And action.
Clearly, somebody in this room murdered Lord Smythe, who, at precisely 3:34 this afternoon, was brutally bludgeoned to death with a blunt instrument. I want each of you to tell me your whereabouts at precisely the time that this dastardly deed took place.
I was polishing the brass in the master bedroom.
I was buttering his lordship's scones below stairs, sir.
Why, I was planting my petunias in the potting shed.
Constable, arrest Lady Smythe.
This one's not the same as the Moonwalking Bear PSA, where you're focusing on other things so you don't see the obvious thing that's in this scene. But this one's a lot better and turned up to 11. Such a creative idea to change the scenery of a scene to kind of get the point across that you can't focus on every little thing that changes through these scenes in the PSA. Like, it really hits the nail on the head with the message that whilst you're driving, you can't focus on everything. Like, it's the best way to cover this kind of topic, and it's done in a really creative way that I think really hits the message home. I also love the idea that this whole PSA is like a murder mystery where you're meant to be looking for clues, you're intentionally looking for things, but you'll still miss a few things here and there.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Hansel, look, a house! And it's made of candy! Chocolate cakes. And the windows are made of toffee. I want the roof.
So how's my plump little Gretel?
How do you do it? You eat as much as a boy.
Don't eat too much or you'll get fat.
Gretel?
Yeah, the animation's really good. Like, it looks like a children's book come to life in like an animated cartoon. It's pretty good. It really complements the PSA, as obviously the whole PSA is imitating Hansel and Gretel, the fairy tale story. But obviously this time they're having a twist where Gretel has like an eating disorder after thinking about what the parents said about her eating.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
imagery in this PSA is so damn cool. Like the way that they imitate like food products by using things that aren't food is really well done, and it's really cool. It really sends the message home where it's like these inedible things look like candy to children, and then obviously that kid should be staying out of these things and they shouldn't be eating them, and parents should be watching their kids as well to make sure that they're not eating these things. That's why I really like this PSA, because it is really effective, and the twist at the end is really well done.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Hey, you ever thought about taking drugs?
I don't know. Well, I never really thought about it.
Think hard. The first hit's free, but you find me when you need more. The choice is yours.
What do you think? Nah, this jerk's not worth the time.
A message from Concerned Children's Advertisers.
You might be thinking that this one's a bit too high on the list. I don't think so. The main reason why this is up so high is because of the puppets. I do like with the pusher puppet that they're using like a puppet head and they're using a human body for the rest. It looks really cool. Even though the two kid puppets look really strange, I think the pusher puppet does look really good. Also, the effect on the pusher's eyes is really cool but disturbing, and it really works because it looks disturbing. By the way, you should definitely pick up a pusher sticker, shirt, sweatshirt, or even hoodies, where I've got my exclusive pusher design on these products at zakar.store.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
He's fun, he's cute, he's crazy. He's my little puppy. Hours of fun for all the family. My little puppy comes completely unhouse trained and enjoys being taken for lots of walks. Needs feeding on a regular basis and requires endless love and attention. And when all the fun's over, he's easily stored away.
I bet you're all surprised to see this one on here, aren't you? Well, yeah, I don't like this PSA, I think it sucks, but it's very creative. It imitates a kid's toy product advertisement really well. Unfortunately, too well, because the twist ending is really bad. Like, it's creative how it starts off with its lighthearted approach, and then it has the twist at the end. But the twist in this PSA sucks. But with the effectiveness of the PSA aside, it still is quite creative.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
It started out like any other trip home. At first, it seemed just like the usual frustrations.
Hey, I want to play the game. It's a video, Mum.
Oops, sorry. How much longer?
Don't worry, we'll be home in no time.
Oh, no. Oh, that's enough. I spy with my little eye something beginning with... What? Well! So close.
All right, that's it. I'm taking the scenic route.
Oh, no, not a dad detour. You do know the way, don't you, lovely?
But that's when things got a bit odd.
It's probably just roadworks.
Oh,
And that was just the start.
oh, no, don't do that.
Oh.
Sorry, I can see. Okay.
Ah, there's our house.
So ready for home.
Why is it so quiet?
Huh, I didn't think the Joneses were away.
Home safe.
Thanks, Dad.
Finally.
Right then, you unpack. I'm going to get the kettle on for all of us.
Okay, buddy. Let's get you inside.
Dad, what's that noise?
Guys, it's okay. It's okay.
What's my face?
We can't change the past.
But we can demand a better future. Protect the oceans.
Of course, the PSA Aardman Animations help make is on this list. Why wouldn't it be? I personally love Aardman Animation's style of claymation. It looks flawless. I love it. And it's actually quite a good message to push towards audiences, and I like this PSA quite a bit. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but it's solid. And yeah, as I said, it's fucking Aardman Animations. I can't complain.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Somewhere in this vast place, there's a small group of islands known as the Faroe Islands. No one knows why, but once a year, large groups of pilot whales return here. The islanders look forward to their visit each year and prepare a special homecoming for them. First of all, they herd the whales into the harbour. Then they harpoon them. And then cut them up with hunting knives while they're still alive. The noise you can hear is the whale screaming as it experiences this horrific death. The more the whales scream, the more the crowd seem to enjoy it. Meat is then distributed to the crowd, and once their freezers are crammed full, the rest is left on the beach to rot.
I've got a soft spot for the animation in this PSA. It's really unique to every other PSA out there. Like, the painting style of animation is really cool. I wish there was a 4K remaster of this PSA. If there is, then I'm definitely getting it. Like, yeah, the animation style in this PSA is so unique to everything else. That's why I like it so much. It's really well done. Also, it does help that Anthony Hopkins narrates the PSA too, because his voice is chef's kiss. His voice is great.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
They broke the law at every turn. They had no restraint. They were rebels without a clue.
What's wrong with you guys?
Oh, compound fractures, contusions.
No, I mean, why no safety belts?
It's just what dummies do.
Oh, yeah? Well, this is what I do.
Busted for not wearing safety belts.
Hey, pal, it's the law.
Police are ticketing across the nation. Buckle your safety belt.
Why don't you come up here, Pumpkin?
What are you doing, Larry?
Well, Vince, I've asked my Pumpkin to sit on my lap to prove a point.
And what is that, your Larryness?
Even if we fasten our safety belts, even if you hold on tight, even if you were watching the road... In a crash, your Pumpkin will be nothing but a squash.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child safety seats.
We love that little pumpkin to pieces.
Vince, get up. Safety belt test at 9. Hurry.
Not another windshield taste test. Count me out.
What? The old pro backing down from a motorhome?
Nothing like that. I'm just tired of trying to convince people to wear safety belts. No one's listening.
Safety belt saved Barbara Mandrell.
You're right. Someone listen. Let's hit the road.
You hungry, partner?
Let's do some donuts on the way in.
Good idea.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
Yep, I had to leave a whole section for Vince and Larry. Of course I did. I'm sure by now, well and truly, you know how much I like Vince and Larry's PSAs. And they are really creative. I could leave a whole list of Vince and Larry PSAs in order of how creative they are, because they're all really creative and well done. Things like the Crash Dummy Hall of Fame, Conduct a Demonstration, You Lost Your Life, they're all really creative. Also, the whole concept of this PSA campaign, where it's like 2 crash test dummies coming to life to tell you to wear a seatbelt, is really creative. And the lighthearted approach to these PSAs is really creative as well, because obviously around the 80s and 90s, most PSAs were disturbing around the topic of like seatbelts and car crashes and stuff. So these PSAs are definitely a breath of fresh air, because everything else is just so disturbing around this time. And even now it's still like that. I can only dream though that they come back, even though it's been like 25 years since this campaign's ended.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Tobacco companies show you images of what life would be like if you smoke.
They tell you tough, hard-working people smoke their cigarettes.
That you look cool, hip, rebellious.
That smoking makes you independent, beautiful, and mysterious.
But the reality is that you can end up looking like this.
I really like the approach of this PSA where they show what tobacco companies are trying to advertise their cigarettes like and how you'll be cool and stuff when you smoke cigarettes. Even though it wasn't really an issue at this time in 2006, it still is really cool. Like the set designs for each scene is really cool, and how it just magically changes scenes like that. Something else happens whilst the message is still being delivered to the viewer is really well done. Also, it's creative to represent different tobacco companies. Like the first scene, it's Marlboro, the second, it's Camel cigarettes, and the third scene, it's like Cool cigarettes. It's really cool. Also, they do represent what those companies were advertising, like what kind of lifestyle they're advertising when selling their cigarettes really well. So anyways, I hope you all like this new video. If you did, make sure to give it a like, and also if you enjoy my content, please make sure to subscribe as it does help me out a lot. And make sure to let me know your thoughts on this video down in the comments section. This year's been an absolutely awesome year. Even though I only came out to YouTube about 2 months ago, these 2 months have been insane. I've been fortunate enough to be able to pump in more time into the content because I've been back on YouTube and getting more viewers. So thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate it a lot because I love doing this. This is what I want to do. Anyways, make sure to check out my Discord in the description as well. And also my merch store, 10% off until the end of the year with the code HOLIDAY10. It ends in the new year at 12 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. So you should definitely take advantage of that discount until the new year starts. Anyways, let's get into the shoutouts. Massive shout out to Diamond Pony, Madeline Stringer, Miranda S, and Ash Crimson for signing up to my $2 pirate tier. Massive thanks to Elliott, Angie Patterson, and Juliet Wakefield for signing up to my $5 pusher tier. Massive thanks to Sam M 1994 for signing up to my $10 Pee Wee Herman tier. And lastly, a massive shout out to Fatima for supporting my $25 Pee Wee Herman tier. Also, look at the screen at the moment. These cool people who bought my merch and they just received their Snake Man shirts. And hey, they look like they're enjoying it, so that's awesome. So if you want to check out my merch store, it will be on screen at the moment. Go check that out, 10% off until the end of the year. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one.